Joined now by Rob Williams. Rob, the hockey guy, the national sports editor of the Daily Hive and its Offside Sports vertical. Rob, good morning. How are you?
Guys, I'm great. For one day, for one night, the Canucks, all their troubles went away. We get to feel good for one day. Yeah, great night.
They have the top 10 leading scorers in the league, you know.
And I was thinking about this on the drive home last night. They may have more consequential victories this season down the stretch. I'm not sure they'll have many more 7-goal wins this season. This may be the Mona Lisa for season 23-24. And what a painting it was last night at Rogers Arena.
Hey, we're already talking about consequential wins down the stretch. Like what a game. Obviously, I think it was after a season where absolutely nothing went right ever, it seems, and a preseason where not much went right. I know you guys have your daily poll question. I had my own poll question yesterday. Like, are you nervous? And I think it was, about 65% of people said that they were, and the other 35% I think were lying.
But here's the thing, Rob, even during the game at 2-0, 3-0, 4-1, I didn't particularly feel like the Canucks were giving any signs that the lead was slipping away.
No, I think I said that to Farhan Lalji in one of the intermissions. I think I'm scarred from last season. Like there wasn't many points in that game. I guess when they really blew it open, then you thought, okay, this is
truly
got it in the bag now. But remember last year, like they had a 3-0 lead on the Oilers last year and lost. There was not much reason to be comfortable with leads last season. For one night at least, like this is a different team. Like this is a team that didn't allow Connor McDavid to steamroll through the neutral zone and allow the Oilers to completely push them around and get great scoring chance after great scoring chance. They didn't need Demko to stand on his head. Now Demko was excellent, particularly early. He made some good saves, but he didn't have to be all-world Thatcher Demko last night, and that's a real positive development. The 8 goals gets the headlines, right? But limiting Edmonton's shots on goal, is just as big a story in some respects, because that was such a problem last year. This team and really for 3 years has been just like they're offensive, but they were like offensive to watch, right? Like the way they played was just so the loosey-goosey, lack of attention to detail was so frustrating to watch. And like I said, for one night, and I thought it was interesting. Like Rick Tocchet was really trying not to get excited in his post-game presser last night, and the players too. They know it's just one game. They got to back it up again. But for one night at least, everyone got to feel good again.
Yeah. And Demko with some good saves in the second, and late in the second, and it's your night when the goaltender leaves the game, but it's not due to injury. It's simply because he puked in his mask.
Yeah. Everybody's got a flu game, right? Jordan, Luongo.
This is his flu game.
Demko.
Right.
Guys, there was even a Daily Hive headline there, Demko puked in his mask. I mean, there was...
Oh, the clicks, Rob. Oh, to get puke in the headline.
Here's the thing: you cannot get puke out of a mask. You'd have to soak that thing for a long time.
That thing is going to be smelly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they have a team day off today.
Yeah, exactly.
Rob, want to take you back to September when we were talking about who's going to have a big summer. Take a listen. We'll come back and discuss. Who do you think amongst the players, like who would you have a lot of faith and confidence and trust in that they heeded coach's word and went out there and had a big summer?
Certainly sounds like it's Brock Boeser, doesn't it? Like he's here early. He's, talking about all the different changes he made in the summer. I mean, if there's a guy that's motivated to come back and kind of regain a bit of his old former form, I think it's Brock Boeser. Now, we said something similar last year, the 30 goals, he was motivated then there was an injury and all the rest. I feel like I'm higher on Boeser than most. I still think that there's more there. I don't think that the guy that we've seen the last couple of years is the guy that we're going to see this year. I think we're going to see an uptick from Boeser, and I think that making changes in the summer and really being committed. I think there's probably nobody more than Brock Boeser this offseason. I think he's a guy that has a lot of pride. He has a lot of talent, and I think he's going to be coming in very motivated.
Take a bow, Rob.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Guys, I knew it all along. That's why they call me the hockey guy.
That's right. Do you think there's a player that the market is more behind than Brock Boeser, or do you think he'd be right there at the top of the list in terms of guys that the market wants to get behind this season?
I don't think there's anybody, players, fans, media, that cheer for anyone harder probably than Brock Boeser. Like just proving himself as a good guy. Like, started before he even played in the NHL when he took that girl to prom, as we all remember. Just kind of proven himself to be a really good guy that's had a lot of tough luck throughout his career and throughout his life, of course. So no, I don't think there's anyone that people are pulling for more than Boeser. They were chanting his name for a brief period, chanting Boeser in the crowd. It's been a while since Rogers Arena's done that for a player. What a night! I mean, you look like 4 goals. I mean, one of them he was just standing in the right place. So like the bounces were really going all his way. But look, 8 shots on goal. That first goal, I said it right when he scored that first goal. It was vintage Boeser, right?
It was.
The puck, bingo, up top corner. Even his second goal, he's kind of right place, right time, but he makes a great play on the rush. Makes a great pass, goes to the right spot. Rick Tocchet said afterwards that he agreed that he thinks that Boeser's looking a little bit quicker this season, and that he thinks that the changes made in his his off-season workouts were positive. That builds right into the narrative that we were talking about in the summer. But yeah, I mean, I've sort of just kind of thought like there's more there. Like the guy, like I just refuse to believe that the guy that looks so great early in his career could have it just all go away so quickly. And hey, 30 goals is, I mean, it's within reach now, right? Like, can you score 26 goals in
81 games?
81 games.
Well, that's our poll question. Reach. That's our Bodog poll question. Rob, what do you think? 30 or 40?
I think 30 is within reach. Again, as everyone said, like it's still one game. There's a lot of runway left. Let's see what Boeser can do with a good start. He said he's, I think somebody asked him if he was feeling confident. He's like, yeah, feeling pretty confident right now. I said with a bit of a smirk on his face. But if he can come into the season with things going right, the opposite to last season, and stay healthy, that's the big key. If he can stay healthy, I think that's within reach. He's going to be playing. Looks like mostly with Miller. I thought, Phil Di Giuseppe. What can you say about him on that line? Looked right at home. Especially that first goal was like tailor-made for that line, right? It was Phil Di Giuseppe getting in on the forecheck, causing a turnover, a great pass from Miller, and a great finish for Boeser. Like that's how Tocchet probably drew it up this summer when he was thinking about his line combos.
Can we talk about the important things here, please? After all this goals and winnings thing, let's talk about the new lounge. The Canucks walk past the Richie Riches in the new. I saw a reference to Cactus Club. Matt had the best one because I said it's so weird. You just walk past a bunch of uber rich people, and Matt said it's like Hunger Games, and I half expect them to have wild pink hairdos and flamboyant costume the next time we see it. It's
Stanley Tucci will MC that area
exactly
later in the year.
It's a little odd, isn't it? It's so tight. Like it's not like it's expansive. It's still a snug little area, and the uber rich are right there on top of the Canucks.
I was blown away when we went to the well, first of all, during the game, I took a little peek down to see that the little tunnel that goes into that area, and I'm like, oh, it looks like it's open because it wasn't open during preseason. And I'm like, okay, it looks like something's going on there. I don't know if it was like a bouncer or who it was. Like there's they've got somebody in like a well-dressed man, kind of
earpiece. Gotta have an earpiece.
He was like standing there in the tunnel the entire time. So I was like, okay, I was interested in that. And then when we went to the dressing room, we walked right past it, and I was blown away that it was completely open, because that's been a construction zone. Everybody you talk to, it's like, oh, they've got a lot of construction still to go. And as early as yesterday, or on Tuesday, the day before opening night, that was a construction zone. Like, you could hear like saws going, and and I thought, there's no way they're going to have this ready. So, during the game, I was wondering, like, what have they got for everyone in the back here? Like, are they like on picnic tables, or like whatever they put back there? But it looks like they cobbled everything together pretty quick, and it did look put together. I think there's probably a few more additions they need to make. I don't think they're going to stick with the velvet ropes as a permanent fixture there, but yeah, they got it put together. There's a lot of money on the line for those seats to be in working order.
What did you make of the captain's ceremony and the repatriation here of Trevor Linden? I'm not sure that means all is well. It may have just been for Hughes, much like he showed up just for the Sedins when they had their numbers retired. But what did you make of the pregame ceremony and the captaincy turnover?
Thought it was great. I mean, now I know that they did the tradition of like Hughes came out wearing the A and then he put the C on. It was a little weird because I'm like, that doesn't really make any sense. They've already given him the C. Like, now they're taking away the C and putting it back on. But I digress. I think it's fantastic when they can bring back these, former captains, whenever they bring back the legends of the past, and kind of build up that tradition that I think that Canucks fans for so long saw other teams get to do, right? And now they've built up a bit of a tradition where they get to bring back these guys to Rogers Arena. Having Henrik Sedin there, having Trevor Linden, Stan Smeel, Orland Kurtenbach, having all these guys there, and I think Quinn Hughes after the game said that it meant a lot to him to have those guys there, and I do think it means a little bit extra for Trevor as well, given that he was part of the management team that drafted Hughes and saw him come into the league. So I thought it was a great ceremony. It was I don't know what I was expecting, actually, because that sort of followed kind of the trend of what we've seen when they gave the C to Henrik and when they gave the captaincy to Horvat. But some of the drama taken away, but I think it was cool to have a bit of that tradition continue for the Vancouver Canucks.
And we know, much like renovations beat, much like, every ancillary beat that you're on in and around Rogers Arena. Scoreboard beat, jersey beat. You're also on slogan beat.
Oh my gosh.
Now, let's just say,
oh my gosh,
it beats unfinished business because of course they didn't even begin the business, which they trotted out.
But this is
year.
NSFW.
But this one, come on, let's go. And as one tweeter said last night, if you're going to use "come on" in your slogan, maybe it shouldn't be in a
Seaman font.
Yeah, a white Seaman font. As they trotted out. What do you make of "come on, let's go," Rob?
Guys, I still think unfinished business was quite good. The problem was the team just made them look so terrible. Like, I do have some sympathy for the Canucks marketing team. Like, it's hard to market a bad team, right? Like, if you're marketing a good team, like everything you throw up goes in, right? You're like Steph Curry lobbing in threes. The game is easy. Try marketing for a team that loses all the time.
But Rob, they had it. They had it. We Are All Canucks makes no promises on how good you are. Makes no promises. It's just an inclusionary club.
Exactly.
It makes no problem. We might be terrible, but we're all Canucks.
When you get to a Final Four or something like that, and you feel like there's something that you can put forward now that speaks to the specific timeline of the team, sure enough.
Yep.
But unfinished business last year was very premature.
And come on, let's go. It's the most basic. It's like,
well, and as Blake said last night, somebody got paid for this.
Yeah.
Like, so there's some agency out there that went there and in a straight face presented, come on, let's go.
Was the other finalist Yay Canucks?
What
was the other finalist here?
I don't know I don't know who thought "Come on, let's go" was going to be a good idea. It just screamed of like, okay, we did unfinished business last year. Do not make any promises. Like, just make it generic. Like, it sort of spoke to like the no distractions preseason. Like, we don't want any sort of. They must have just been like, don't give Daily Hive anything to write about this year, guys. And then
you're top of mind.
They're scared of you, Rob. They're scared of you.
But yeah, I mean, I think they were just looking for something that would just sort of let's just come up with something just to come up with something, and don't make it too too bold one way or the other. And I think in essence, Blake, I think you're right. Like, we're all Canucks. If you got nothing else, like, that one kind of works.
Bring it back. Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Oh my. Yes. No, I'm not sure this one was overthought.
No.
Marvelous stuff, Rob. Thank you for this. Until next Thursday.
Thanks, guys.
Happy hour on Sekeres and Price. Today's beer of the day, Yellow Dog's Chase My Tail Pale Ale.